Lisa and brought us together. How many years ago?
I think it was 2 years before we started it. Wasn't it about 2 years before we started it? Racing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, we've been here many years.
Yeah.
So many years.
And we're live now.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. If you're joining us on Facebook Live, I just welcome you to our programming today. So I know we're officially in spring, but we've been trying to reschedule this virtual presentation by our sewing circle for a couple months now. So we wanted to be able to get them in this year before we officially celebrate spring, even though we know spring is here. But I wanted to welcome you all. I'm Clementine here on behalf of Racing Magpie. Want to welcome everyone to our seasonal program called Winter Camp with the Lakota Sewing Circle today. We're really privileged to have them share with us. And just a reminder, this isn't a class, just a chance for the Sewing Circle to share and talk about their experiences. So if you don't know, Racing Magpie is a Lakota-centric arts and culture organization founded in 2015 here in Rapid City in Mini-Luzaha, Otuahe, which centers the Lakota practice of being a good relative in everything that one does. Our work is focused on elevating and amplifying the ongoing work of community-based artists and culture bearers. And as part of being a good relative, this program reimagines the Lakota Winter Camp model of problem solving and community building in today's world by examining the cultural roots and the way that Lakota people do things and how we interact with the world around us. Well, these events are open to the public. They always uplift and amplify Oceti Sakowin community members, both as presenters and attendees. We want to thank the Bush Foundation for their generous sponsorship of this program. And if you would like to find other ways to contribute to the work we do, you can stop by our website, make a donation, visit us in person by stopping by our new location here in Rapid City. And always you can support our artists and our creatives. You can search them out, you can buy their artwork, you can donate to them directly, or you can share out their work through social media and other public forums. If you have questions during the conversation, if you're joining us here in the Zoom room, you can raise your hand, or you can leave a comment on the Facebook Live, and I will make sure that our Sewing Circle gets your questions and comments. So without further delay, I'm really excited to introduce our community members. They have created this Lakota Sewing Circle for people in the community to have an opportunity to get together, to be creative, share ideas and knowledge. The circle has been gathering at Racing Magpie since 2016 when we were in our old location, and it has been active long before that time, but we're so happy to share that space with them. All are welcome during these low-key gatherings to bring their own projects. It's a time to visit, to learn. And unfortunately, they have been unable to meet during the pandemic, so it's really exciting to see them all back in one place. So we have Anita, Dolly, and Marta with us, and they will be sharing some experiences. So I'll hand it over to you ladies. If anyone would like to share about how the Sewing Circle got started. Dolly, you started saying that right when we opened the presentation. So also please give our presenters some encouragement. They're very nervous to be on camera live, which I know is very nerve-wracking. But Dolly, I'll hand it over to you if you want to finish explaining how the circle came together.
The Lakota Sewing Circle started just in 2014. So Lisa and Cloud had brought everyone together. And we started out after 7. And we've been going since. Like someone said, it's not a class. We all bring our whatever we're doing, our projects, and just to visit, share ideas, and eat a meal together. So we'll put the sewing circle because we all were beginning. That's how our lives are, the circle of life. So that's how we got started.
Oh, okay, I think I joined a year after. I was sewing with another group too, and we quit meeting, so. And here I found Lisa, the sewing circle, Lakota Sewing Circle down at the Athlete Center out in Lakota Homes. And so I started with them, and I've been there ever since. I like working with, I like meeting with all the ones that came through, and some of them come to learn. Some, they haven't done any sewing or anything, and they want to learn. And so I learned how to do star quilts. So if I can help someone get started, it's not a class because we all have our own projects to do, different things. Like Helena, she's starting to knit. Martha's doing crocheting, and we do sewing, any kind of sewing, and so we can help out a little bit in what we know. And I think it's really important to get together, just to talk, talk, and we share, each one of us bring something to share with the others. And Lisa has been a big part of that to begin with, because she was the one that started this. And she's doing, what is it, the food, yeah, traditional foods now. And she left us Lakota Sewing Circle. Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
I'm sorry. We also helped with the dignitary project when Mr. Ladford came and asked for designs for and was it colors also?
Yeah.
For the star quilt. Anita helped him with the colors and the design. And we thought that was really huge for them to come and ask us to help him. So we've done many others of different things. Cultural, we share. I had lots of words. We do a lot of sharing, like the traditional foods. We talk about that in Lakota also. Those things are done. And Anita are fluent. We're first language speakers too. We do visit in Lakota, and we let those who do understand, we tell them what we just talked about and stuff. So there's that sharing also, language, culture, and then just being all together. Because we all need that. In the pandemic, I sew by hand. I never did learn how to use a sewing machine, and I'm not sad. No. But with my things sitting in the shed for 2 years, I think the mice made houses out of the clothes. No, I'm just kidding. Share, show.
maybe you all can share where you learned to sew. So Dolly, you said you learned to sew by hand. Did someone teach you?
I used to, my mother and my grandmother, they sewed, um, like, quilt tops, all, and it was called, what was it? What was the name? Inkjet? Malaysia? No particular design, but, they just cut up pieces and would sew, make, quilt tops and quilts. And my grandma, she would buy material and she made her own like dresses, really simple. So I watched her sew also, and she did her moccasins. She never wore shoes. She always, so I watched her do that also. And there was so I think that's why I never ever thought of learning how to use a sewing machine, because I never did see them use a sewing machine. And it was really amazing work when they had finished, and it was done. And even back then, they had this, they had started, like the sewing groups that they had, they would all meet like at a community house, or they take food. So I've seen that also growing up when I was little, where they'd all take their sewing and sit around, visit and share a meal. So this is very, I say traditional, to do all of this. And that's how they would visit, because they didn't live like 2 houses down. It was like 2 miles down. So to get together like that was really a big thing for all of them. Spend the whole day together, and then they didn't see one another for maybe weeks or months. But I grew up in the era where we traveled by wagon. So I thought that was a lot of fun too. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Good memories.
So peaceful.
Anita.
I watched my mom. I got sewing from my mom. I watched her make like the quilts, the just blocks, nothing, designed or anything.
Mhm.
It was just blocks, and then I remember she would start one, and by winter it was, when it got cold, it was a thick quilt. And I just remember it was heavy. So it seemed like it kept us warm. And so I seen her sew by hand. I don't know if I ever seen a sewing machine when I was little. If I did, I don't remember. And my older cousin, she did star quilts. I think she started when she was a teenager. She's just and she's really good at making star quilts now. And that was the first time I seen. I don't know. I was a teenager when I seen her making star quilts out in Bridger, and so I always wanted to learn how to do that. Make star quilts. I always thought it was really hard, and it's. If you follow directions, it's pretty simple. And maybe 15 years ago, or 10 or 15 years ago was when I learned how to make star quilts from two of our elders. They started a class together, and so that's where I learned. And that was just the other day I was looking in my closet, and here I when I was in my 20s was when I made my first top before my clothes a top, and I was looking at it. I thought, hey, how did I do this? Because I didn't have a pattern. I just cut it out and sewed it, and it even had the bias. And I was looking at that, and I thought, oh God, I kept it that long. And then I learned to make star quilts, and I just want to tell everybody it's easy to do. It's easy once you sit down and just. And so if somebody wants to learn, it's not hard. Just do it. Or get someone to show you how to get started. It's easy. And I want to thank Peter for giving us a place to hold us. I really like these buildings that he has, and you can see all these paintings, and he makes us feel comfortable too, so that's good.
Very grateful.
Yeah. And I like getting together and we've had different ones come and learn what they wanted to learn, or just sat with us and did their projects, their sewing or whatever it is they're doing, and they have to, for some reason, not a bad reason, they moved on to do something else. Like one just moved out of state. And so we're here. We share what we can.
Just remembered when we first started, there was moms bringing their children and their daughters and one son who wanted to learn how to, was it make a star quilt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Anita showed them, and that's when they thought it was a class. I said, no, it's not a class. But she would show them how to do the sewing. We have one youth today, and she's knitting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, you're crocheting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
crocheting.
Okay, she's crocheting, but sometimes we have youth come in and join us, and we really appreciate that also. And like Anita had said, we really appreciate Peter for inviting us. I'm very grateful for that. And it's so comfortable. You know, you can just walk in and sit down and start sewing. No. Everyone is welcome to come.
I have another question. What has been your most difficult sewing project?
Mine was in 2021. Dale Lamper did the tapestry at Monument Health, and I was really honored to be asked to make a star quilt. And I was really excited and nervous. I get nervous, and I was excited about that, and I started, and so that was, I had to adjust the size because they wanted an exact size. It's 24 inch by 24 inch, the whole thing. And so, yeah, that was that. I got it done, and yeah, that was the most difficult one for me because it had to be an exact size. And I learned. It took me a while to do that one. but I really enjoyed doing it. It was difficult, it was hard.
Mine would be when we first started, this gentleman from, where was he from? Remember he has,
Oh, that bird, I can't remember where he's from.
he wanted us to, when we all put this quilt together, we sewed it by hand because he wanted the, all of the positive energy. He had a illness,
MS.
MS, yeah. And he said whenever he begins to feel sick or he'd want to wrap himself up in that quilt that we made for him. And that was the difficult part, just putting it all together, following the exact designs he wanted on there. And
Was a turtle. It was a turtle.
yeah, it was a turtle for his journey. But yeah, that was, I'm not good at following directions. No. So that was difficult. And we also did the emergence for, or is it Karen's?
Yeah,
What was it? Yeah, we did a quote for them and that also had to be a certain way. So those were difficult. I had just thought, well, I'm gonna get into sewing and those were the projects that we made it through. And I thought that was a big honor for us to be asked to do that for the gentleman.
Awesome. Thank you. I also wonder too, so right, you shared with us the most difficult or challenging. And Anita, you shared about that first shirt you made. What other projects have you been proud of, or can you remember some of your first sewing projects? And if you could share about that.
I think my first star quilt, and the other ones I made are mostly for my family. It's my grandson, when he was born, I made a star quilt for him, and it was hand quilted. It was all done by hand. I wanted to do that, so that's what I did, and turned out pretty good. So that and helping with the quilt, the two quilts that Dolly just talked about, and just different things. And then I made a jingle dress for one of my friend's daughters, and beating my granddaughter's first moccasins when we were talking about that earlier, and it was made out of elk hide, which was really easy to beat on. I just wanted to mention I thought it was going to be hard, but it wasn't. It went really smoothly. And so I think those, I'm probably forgetting something else, but those were the ones that I can remember. My first star quilt was one of them, because I didn't think I could do it.
Mine would be the dolls, and then she shows how to make little dresses for them. And it was real simple, but just having to sew it all together was difficult. That's probably about maybe 8. And those needles were sharp. No, I just kidding. But pricking your finger, of course, you learn from that also what not to do, you know. But that was the difficult one, making the dresses for the dolls that she made us.
I have another question. Were you all able to share space during the pandemic, or what was your sewing practices during the pandemic?
I put my sewing project away and I think I just sat around, no, not really doing much, but visiting. I would call my sisters. I think they got tired of me. No, and talking in Lakota, that was the big part. We couldn't travel. So visiting. And during the pandemic, we did, how many times did we get together? The sewing circle, just to share a meal, but we had it out in the park, or, you know, where we were all together in one room. Isn't that how many times? About 4? 3?
The park.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, it was in the summertime, maybe once a month.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah. Well, it was still warm.
But that's how we stayed in touch with one another. Someone would set a date and then we'll all meet and spend a couple hours just visiting.
Catching up.
Mhm. You made
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you can share with the audience what you're currently working on.
Okay. Right now, I'm working on the vest for my grandson, which I was supposed to get done a while ago. Yeah, for he dances, he's a traditional dancer, so that's, I'm making a vest for him. For his first, the first one since 2019. And Spearfish, that's coming up. Hopefully it turns out and we're gonna go. That's our plan, so it's gotta be done by then. And see, what else was it? Oh, I was gonna mention, I know this doesn't have anything to do with what I'm currently doing, but I wanted to mention when Dolly said her mom and her grandma sewed. Her mom is my grandma Louise. Anyway, she gave me a gift one time that she made. I don't know if all of you seen the little, I think the blocks are like 2 inch by 2 inch or something like that, really small. And she gave that to me. That was years ago. It's been over 20 years and I still have it, and I don't use it because I don't want it to be worn out. If I had known, I would have brought it and just to show. It's really, really nice. So I have that from it's all hand sewn. Yeah. And it's really beautiful. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing, is this the best for my grandson to wear when he's dancing.
When we had first started, I then had 7 grandchildren. I have 8 now. I have a new one. And I started out making, and it was going to do a quilt for each one. So I sewed quilt tops, just, just no particular design, or just blocks being how they did a long time ago. And I ended up having to throw them all away. I had 4 done. So I have to start over again, but I don't mind. But that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be working on quilt tops for again.
Awesome. That's thank you for sharing. What encouragement would you give to someone who is just starting out on their sewing journey?
come sit with us. No. And it's, once they get into it, I'm sure they'll want to stay with it. But then, Anita does a lot. She does the ribbon shirts, ribbon skirts. She does almost everything. Including, I really admire, because I don't know how to make a star quilt yet. No.
You will.
But ask her questions. And everyone is just really good-natured, mild mannered. Just join us. You'll enjoy it.
It's good to get together. And once they just come and, you know, bring whatever it is you want to learn. And like I said, it's not a class, but we will help each one of us do something different, and we know how to do something different, so we can help get started with what we know. And after a while, it's just good to be together and to sew together, or just to visit, eat.
Very comfortable, warm place.
Yeah, it is. And that helps to be with others to sew too, because I really slowed down during this pandemic when we couldn't get together. I didn't do too much. I did some things, but it wasn't like before when we used to get together and we just, I used to even work at home, do things after I get back from work, I do something, and then I really slowed down during this pandemic. I don't know why. Seemed like I would have more time because I'm not wandering around, but I don't. So it's good to be here. It's good to get together for the first time in what, 2 years. Exactly 2 years.
Yes, so feel free to join. On the way over here, I was, okay, I'm not lost, I'm lost. And so forth.
I almost pulled in at the old place.
We were so happy to be able to get together. Could have camped outside last night. But yeah, feel free to join us anytime.
Yep, come and join us.
When do you all usually meet? And for how long?
We meet twice a month.
4 hours. 4 hours.
So is it the first Saturday or the second Saturday?
It changed.
It changed.
So we haven't set a schedule yet,
Oh,
so.
we don't have a schedule, but it would be on. Would be Racing Magpie
Mhm.
Facebook.
And it's usually from 11 to 3. When we meet, it starts at 11 and up to 3 o'clock. So we'll probably put out the dates when we'll talk about it and put it out there.
Also, when it came this morning, gentleman that was here, he said, he was happy that we were getting back together. He said, we used to make the place smell so good. We brought food. I said, oh, that will happen, yeah.
We still have a few minutes left, but I wondered if you all could talk about our share about a little bit more about sewing together. I think people would really like to hear your reflections on what it means to come together, right? You've been doing this for 6 years now, at least at Racing Magpies buildings, but like just sharing about what it means to you to sew together in community.
One is, I know sharing like language we talk about. And then we also, Anita and I are fluent, so we speak in Lakota. And then the other one would be the culture, the foods. We talk about those. And then just the enjoyment of coming together and sharing different things. That's what brings us together. The, what is it, the peacefulness?
I think also as we visit, we remember, because Dolly and I both come from the same area, and some of the other ones did too. So but they're younger, so we remember things from our childhood, and we talk about things like that too. It's we talk about sewing too, but then we talk about things that we remember from when we were young, and I really like that. And I know, like Lisa, she like listening to us when we talk, and the other ones too. They listen, and they tell us what they remember from when they were young in their childhood, and that's one of the things too. And just getting together and sharing, sharing food, sharing what we know how to do, and just being together. I like that.
You know, it's Lakota Sewing Circle, but everyone is invited. You know. So don't let it out. Okay? Just come. Join us.
We have Selena there. She's been with us for a long time.
The whole time that we've been together, Melina has been with us. She, I think, learned how to speak Lakota.
So would you say sewing together and using the language has helped you maintain your language?
Yes, it has. Especially when we're able to visit in Lakota. I know we feel comfortable. And then with others wanting to learn, we teach also. So we do that. Nakutaku. Oh, what else?
We used to put out remember the board and put out a word and learn how to pronounce that and what it means. That's one of the things, another thing that we used to do there. Did it a few times before the pandemic. So maybe we should start doing that again. I think. So, yeah.
We could.
So we just have a few minutes left. I know I said that just a few minutes ago, but for real this time. I was trying to get you all to keep talking. But in these last few minutes, what hopes, right? So you just shared, right, that you used to have a board out with Lakota words, but if you could have anything to support your sewing circle, what kind of support would you like, or what do you hope to see for the future of the sewing circle?
I would like to see it grow. And also the Lakota language. Feeling comfortable in learning or wanting to learn Lakota language. I would like to see that. And then people just being comfortable coming in, and you coming in and sitting with us. And visiting. We don't do storytelling. No, not yet. Anyway. Once in a while we do.
You all have lots of stories.
Yeah.
We do. We're a whole story ourselves. No, I'm kidding.
Memories,
Memories.
good memories. It was all good memories. A lot of the things. So different nowadays.
It's so peaceful here. You feel that as soon as you walk in the door. So join us.
Any dreams for the future, Anita?
Well, like Dolly said, we would like the Lakota Sewing Circle to expand, or just have whoever wants to come and join us, because we used to have a lot, and I would like to see young people come and want to learn to do something like sewing. I think just sitting there visiting, even if that's all it is to visit, I think that would be good. And see, we have a young person here doing her thing. I don't know what that crocheting and yeah, it's I think that's what I would like, that for more people to come. I mean, sewing is just so calming, just like gardening. I do gardening too, and just it's calming, and you don't think about stress. Stress is gone. I mean, for me, it's gone. What I'm doing, that's what I'm thinking about, And so it's, to me, that's good. And so I would like more people to join us, and just bring your project, or if you want to learn something. And I know during this time, there's some who have asked, when are you guys going to start? And so as soon as we set the dates, we'll let them know too. But that's what I would like, to get more people to.
And it's not just sewing, you could bring your beadwork, your art, anything. Just bring it and work on it.
It doesn't
For
have to
3
be
hours.
sewing.
Yeah.
Just get together. That helps for other people to be around. I think that's.
Well, thank you, ladies, for talking with us today and sharing about the sewing circle. And I will probably be joining you once that schedule gets set because I have lots of sewing projects I keep starting and not finishing. So maybe this will give me an
Yes, it helps.
to have a group to at least that I'll have to work on it a little bit. I started a jingle dress and I still haven't finished it. But I just thank you so much for sharing your words today. And I hope it's been really nice to just listen to you all visit. And I think that's what the goal of the Sewing Circle is, right? To be able to come together and visit about these things. And again, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, we'll have these videos available through Racing Magpie. And so you could come back around and revisit the videos and hear these conversations again. So if you need some sewing buddies, please join the Lakota Sewing Circle. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.